This is what I learned by giving away lead magnet audits. So, a business coach of mine said that it is smart to validate your offer before you try to sell it, which makes perfect sense. Um, I wanted to do lead magnet audits because I felt like this was a way where I can help people, and it seemed like something that people needed help with. So, I put it out in the beginning of the year that I was giving away free lead magnet audits, and I would look at your lead magnet, your sales page, your client journey if you wanted me to, and I would see if there was any disconnect from the beginning to the end. On my website, if you go to thecrmfairy.com and you scroll down to the free stuff, I do have a magic pumpkin method because the CRM fairy is all about being a fairy godmother for your client database. Um, but the Magic Pumpkin method, I'm going off on tangents now, is all about the very first step that you provide for your clients. So it is the pumpkin that will eventually lead your Cinderella clients to the castle. I'm not a Disney adult. It just happened that I got into the fairy realm and I stayed there for my business. Speaking of me, if you have no idea who I am, my name is Katie and I run the CRM Fairy. I help coaches and course creators on the internet um, with their lead magnets and their email marketing and all of that stuff. Okay. So in the beginning of the year, I was streamlining my business, and lead magnet audits was one thing that I really wanted to offer. So I decided to give away free ones to validate that offer. If you go to my website right now, um, as of this recording, lead magnet audits are $77, but because it is my favorite season, the season of fall, I have them on sale from now until my birthday, which is 11/12, and um, they are $22 off, so you get them for $55. So if you're interested in that after watching this video or listening to this podcast, then head to thecrmfairy.com and find yourself a lead magnet audit. Okay, so during these lead magnet audits, I had a very simple Google form and I asked four questions. Or, yeah, I asked four questions, and one of the questions had four answers. So I said, why are you looking for this lead magnet audit? So the choice number one was I need to create it, which well, surprisingly, like 25% of the people said I need to create one. Strange to have somebody like audit something that doesn't exist, but it made sense because I helped them along with their client journey, the very first step, their magic pumpkin, right? Okay. About 19% said they were not sure. They know that they need one, but they're not really sure where the disconnect is. So that was a great reason to want a lead magnet audit. Um, 31% of the people said people are not signing up for the lead magnet audit itself. So in that way, there was a disconnect between the sort of what they're offering with their freebie or lead magnet and what their sales page says. And then another 25% or so said the lead magnet is not turning into paying customers. So people are signing up, but they're not traveling down the customer journey, which in my mind, that's a disconnect between um, what the lead magnet is and what your signature service is. Um, so again, the lead magnet audit, I gave them advice about how to connect them all in a way that made sense for their client and for them as the business owner. Okay, so I should have asked a follow-up question. That's something I learned from doing this experiment, which is like, what do you mean that you need to create it? Because one woman gave me absolutely nothing. Like I wasn't even able to help her because she said, I don't have a signature service. I don't have a lead magnet. I don't know what I even want to offer. And I'm like, well, what am I supposed to do? I didn't know. So I told her that. I said, if you give me more information on who you are and who you help, maybe I could help you create a lead magnet. But my follow-up questions should have been like, do you have one? Did you have one in the past? What didn't you like about it? Right? So I could have discussed further how it could have been better or how it's good that they got rid of it because there's complete disconnect or something like that. Okay. I did see a lot of disconnect, as I said, between the sales page, the signature service, and the lead magnet, which were the main things that I checked out. Um, a lot of people are in I don't want to say like woo-woo space, but it's like mindset and things like that. And a lot of the first step in their customer journey is like a guided meditation, which is fine. I love a guided meditation, but it won't lead to their signature service, essentially, from what I saw. So if you want to help people with like losing weight, you're not going to give them a guided meditation because what is that going to get to them? Or how is that going to get them to the next step? A different business coach, different than I talked about in the beginning, that I follow, he says you want to give them like the answer to their initial question, and then you want to give them a new question that you will answer in the next step in the client journey, which I absolutely love. Makes a lot of sense. It's the initial win in your lead magnet, and then it's a what now? So I did see a lot of disconnect between the client journey that people wanted people to go on, that coaches wanted people to go on. Okay. So about 13% of the people that I helped had a follow-up sequence. So most of the time I went to their sales page and I actually signed up for the lead magnet so I can see what goes into somebody's inbox um, once they sign up for your lead magnet so I can audit that process as well. So only a handful of them had welcome sequences. Like I said, like 13%, which is not great because how are you going to introduce yourself to somebody? How are you going to introduce your business to somebody? You may have found them, or they may have found you randomly, and now they're in your atmosphere, but they need to know more about you and more about what you do. And that is the welcome sequence that you offer. It's not just here's the freebie and now nothing, or now like newsletters, right? Um, and another interesting fact, if you're interested, is about 20% of the people who got a lead magnet audit were one-on-one coaches and the rest were course creators. Um, so I mean, the customer journey applies to all digital entrepreneurs, whether you're doing one-on-one coaching or you're doing a course, but I just found it interesting. There's fun facts all over the place, right? Okay. So if you have a lead magnet and you think it's working well, but maybe you're in that, what percentage? That 25% of people that it's not turning into paying customers on the back end. Maybe your welcome sequence is not getting people there. Maybe you just give the lead magnet and then you jump right into your weekly or monthly newsletter when you should be nurturing in the very beginning. And then if they don't buy that signature service, then you nurture them even further, right? So I am hosting a boot camp and it's free, so don't worry. It is called the Inbox Impact Bootcamp, and it's all about building your welcome sequence in a 5-day period. So even if you don't come live but you do the homework, you will have a welcome sequence in 5 days. So you have your lead magnet and you feel good about it. Um, Maybe you need that next step, which is nurturing people in the very beginning. So you can head to the link in the description and sign up for this boot camp. It is happening at the end of the month, or the beginning of November. I haven't actually decided. Bad. Okay. So hop on that. And then if you are actually not feeling good about your lead magnet, then you could obviously get a lead magnet audit and I will help you get to the place where it needs to be. So that link will be in the description as well. And if you're into themes like I am, I have been very into the Food Network my whole life, really. But it's this time of year with like the Halloween baking championships and stuff like that that I absolutely love. So, the theme of this month's Inbox Impact Bootcamp is sweets and treats. So it's got nothing to do with anything. If you don't like dessert, that's fine, even though what? Um, but it's just the slides and stuff have to do with sweets and treats and a little bit of metaphors because I'm a girl who loves a metaphor and a pun. So that is this month's theme for the Inbox Impact Bootcamp. And again, in 5 days, you will have your welcome sequence that initially nurtures people into your paid services and offers, which is an important step in the digital entrepreneurial space. All right, I hope you sign up and I hope to see you there. Thanks for watching.